What if your body is already revealing how long you'll live, but you're missing the signs? Once you pass 70, every year feels more precious. Some people stay sharp, active, and full of life well into their 80s and 90s, while others struggle with fatigue, health issues, and a declining quality of life. The difference? It often comes down to 7 critical signs that can predict your longevity. These aren't myths or guesses. They are backed by science and observed in people who live long, healthy lives. Stick around because sign #5 is shocking, and most people ignore it until it's too late. And if you care about your future health, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss vital health insights that could add years to your life. Now, let's get started. Sign 1. Your ability to stand on one leg. Balance isn't something most people think about until they start losing it. But your ability to stand on one leg for at least 10 seconds is one of the strongest predictors of how long you'll live. Researchers have found that people who struggle with balance are more likely to experience falls, injuries, and even cognitive decline. On the other hand, those who maintain their balance well into their 70s and beyond tend to live longer, healthier lives. Imagine Carol and Nancy, both in their early 70s. Carol has always been active, walking daily, doing yoga, and can easily lift one foot off the ground for several seconds without wobbling. Nancy, however, hasn't paid much attention to her balance. When she tries to stand on one leg, she immediately tips over, needing something to steady herself. What Nancy doesn't realize is that this loss of balance is a warning sign that her coordination, muscle strength, and even brain function might be declining. Balance relies on strong legs, a sharp nervous system, and a healthy brain. If you notice yourself stumbling more often or needing extra support to stand steady, it's time to take action. The good news is, balance can be improved. Simple exercises like standing on one foot for a few seconds, walking heel to toe, or practicing Tai Chi can help you rebuild stability. Don't panic if you can't balance well yet. Just start working on it. The more you practice today, the steadier you'll be for years to come. Sign 2. Your appetite and eating habits. The way you eat after 70 is one of the strongest indicators of how long you might live. A healthy appetite and well-balanced diet keep your body strong, your immune system resilient, and your energy levels high. On the other hand, a sudden loss of appetite or poor eating habits can signal underlying health issues and even accelerate aging. Take Margaret and Susan, both 74 years old. Margaret enjoys her meals, eats a variety of fresh, whole foods, and maintains a steady weight. She looks forward to preparing her own meals and feels energized throughout the day. Susan, however, has noticed she isn't as hungry as she used to be. She skips meals, relies on processed foods, and has unintentionally lost weight over the past year. Her declining appetite is a red flag that her body may not be absorbing nutrients properly, which can weaken her muscles and slow her metabolism. Declining appetite is often linked to underlying health concerns like digestive issues or even early signs of cognitive decline. If you've noticed a loss of appetite, it's time to take action. Eat nutrient-dense foods, stay hydrated, and prioritize whole foods. A shrinking appetite could be your body's way of telling you that something needs attention, so don't ignore it. Sign 3. Your walking speed. One of the strongest indicators of how long you might live after 70 isn't hidden in your DNA, medical records, or diet. It's something far simpler: your walking speed. Studies have shown that people who maintain a brisk, steady walking pace in their 70s and beyond tend to live longer than those who slow down significantly. That's because walking speed is directly linked to overall health, muscle strength, cardiovascular function, and even brain health. Consider Joe and Frank, both 75 years old. Joe walks every morning, keeps a steady pace, and doesn't struggle when crossing the street or climbing stairs. His movements are fluid and confident. Frank, on the other hand, used to be active but has slowed down significantly over the years. He struggles to keep up, takes frequent breaks, and sometimes feels unsteady on his feet. While Joe's pace suggests that his body is still functioning well, Frank's declining speed could signal health issues like muscle weakness, poor circulation, or even early neurological decline. The good news is, walking speed is something you can improve. The more you walk, the stronger you stay. Start with simple exercises like taking more walks or doing light leg exercises. Don't ignore it if you feel yourself slowing down. It might just be the simplest way to check in on your longevity. Sign 4. Your sleep quality. How well you sleep at night says a lot about how long you may live. Sleep isn't just about rest. It's the time when your body repairs itself, strengthens the immune system, and clears toxins from the brain. Research shows that individuals over 70 who maintain consistent, high-quality sleep tend to live longer, while those who struggle with poor sleep face a higher risk of memory decline, heart disease, and weakened immunity. Take Henry and Bill, both in their mid-70s. Henry has a steady bedtime, sleeps about 7 hours each night, and wakes up refreshed. Bill, however, experiences restless nights, wakes up frequently, and struggles to fall back asleep. Over time, Henry's body continues functioning well, while Bill starts experiencing brain fog, daytime fatigue, and increased blood pressure, all linked to declining sleep quality. If you wake up often, have trouble staying asleep, or feel exhausted even after a full night's rest, take it seriously. Poor sleep can result from stress, diet, lack of exercise, or conditions like sleep apnea. The good news? You can improve sleep quality with small changes, reducing screen time before bed, maintaining a consistent schedule, getting morning sunlight, and avoiding heavy meals late at night. Sleep isn't just about rest. It's a foundation for long-term health. Sign 5. Your ability to handle stress. How you handle stress after 70 can tell you a lot about how long you'll live. Chronic stress doesn't just affect your mood. It weakens your immune system, raises your risk of heart disease, and accelerates aging. On the other hand, people who know how to manage stress effectively tend to stay healthier and more mentally sharp well into their later years. Consider John and Richard, both 76 years old. John faces challenges just like anyone else, unexpected expenses, health scares, family issues, but he handles them with a calm, steady approach. He practices deep breathing, stays socially engaged, and doesn't dwell on problems. Richard, however, holds on to stress. He worries about things outside of his control, feels overwhelmed, and often finds himself stuck in negative thought patterns. Over time, this constant stress wears on his body, raising his blood pressure and depleting his energy. Long-term stress triggers inflammation in the body, which has been linked to nearly every major age-related disease. If you're feeling tense or emotionally drained, don't ignore it. Find ways to manage stress, whether through mindfulness, exercise, deep breathing, or laughter. Your ability to adapt, stay calm, and focus on what you can control will help you live longer and better. Sign 6. Your social connections. The strength of your relationships can be one of the clearest indicators of how long you might live after 70. Studies consistently show that people with strong social ties, whether through friends, family, or community involvement, tend to live longer, healthier lives. On the other hand, loneliness has been linked to a higher risk of heart disease, depression, cognitive decline, and even early mortality. Consider Eleanor and Barbara, both 78 years old. Eleanor has an active social life. She stays in touch with friends, participates in a local book club, and enjoys spending time with family. Barbara, however, spends most of her time alone. She has lost touch with many of her friends, and though she has family, she rarely reaches out. Over time, Barbara feels isolated, her mood declines, and her health starts to suffer. Human connection is essential for your physical health. It keeps your brain active, reduces stress, and promotes overall well-being. If you've been withdrawing from social activities, it's time to reconnect. You don't have to be surrounded by people all the time. Small efforts like reaching out to an old friend or joining a group with shared interests can make a big difference. Nurture your relationships and your health will thank you. Sign 7. Your grip strength. Believe it or not, the strength of your handshake might be revealing more about your future than you think. Research has found that grip strength is one of the clearest indicators of overall vitality in older adults. A firm, steady grip suggests strong muscles, good circulation, and a well-functioning nervous system. Conversely, a weak grip can be an early warning sign of muscle loss, frailty, and a higher risk of health complications. Take Robert, a 78-year-old man who always prided himself on his firm handshake. He stayed active, did some light weightlifting, and never had trouble opening jars or carrying groceries. Then there's Walter, also 78, who noticed simple tasks like twisting a cap off a bottle or holding onto a heavy bag were getting harder. He dismissed it as just aging, but what he didn't realize was that his declining grip strength signaled muscle loss, which could make him more prone to falls, injuries, and even a shorter life expectancy. Grip strength reflects overall muscle health, and the more strength you lose, the harder it becomes to stay independent and resilient. The good news? You can rebuild it. Simple exercises like squeezing a tennis ball, using hand grippers, or carrying light weights can help maintain your grip strength and keep your muscles strong. Test your grip today. If you notice a decline, don't ignore it. It might just tell you how well you'll hold on to life in the years to come. Bonus sign: the strength of your lungs. Your lung capacity might not be something you think about every day, but it's actually a strong predictor of longevity. Studies have found that people who maintain good lung function after 70 tend to live longer and experience fewer health complications. On the other hand, reduced lung capacity is linked to a higher risk of respiratory diseases, heart problems, and overall decline. Think about Evelyn and George, both 77 years old. Evelyn stays active, takes deep breaths during her morning walks, and practices simple breathing exercises. She doesn't get out of breath easily, and her lungs feel strong. George, however, struggles to catch his breath after climbing a short flight of stairs. He often finds himself taking shallow breaths and doesn't engage in activities that challenge his lungs. Over time, this lack of lung strength leads to lower oxygen levels in his body, affecting his heart, brain, and energy levels. Here's a quick test. Try taking a deep breath and timing how long you can hold it. If you struggle to hold your breath for at least 25, 30 seconds, or If you get winded easily, it may be a sign that your lungs need some attention. The good news? You can improve lung strength with simple habits. Practice deep breathing. Inhale deeply through your nose, hold for a few seconds, and exhale slowly. Stay physically active. Walking, swimming, or even singing can improve lung function. Do breathing exercises? Try pursed lip breathing or diaphragmatic breathing to strengthen your lungs. Avoid air pollutants. Stay away from smoking and polluted environments that weaken your lungs over time. Taking care of your lungs doesn't just help you breathe easier. It adds years to your life by keeping your entire body well oxygenated and healthy. Final thoughts. Now that you know these 7 signs, take a moment to reflect on where you stand. Are you moving through life with strength and confidence, or have you noticed subtle changes that might be warning signs? The good news is, most of these factors, walking speed, grip strength, balance, sleep, eating habits, stress, and social connections, are things you can improve. Your future isn't set in stone, and the choices you make today can have a powerful impact on how many years you have ahead of you. If you've recognized areas where you need to improve, don't wait for a doctor to tell you it's time for a change. Start now. Take more walks, strengthen your muscles, prioritize good sleep, stay socially connected, and find ways to manage stress. The goal isn't just to live longer, it's to live better. Because at the end of the day, longevity isn't just about the number of years you have left. It's about the quality of life you experience in those years. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, and reading your comments gives us great motivation. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.